First one, there's this war alluded to in the movie, and you were in the war, and there's border patrol and all this. Can you tell me sort of what your knowledge is of what went on there?
Well, it was literally in the southern border. Imagining things escalated so bad that there is now an ongoing years-long border war. My character was down there patrolling, interrogating, doing some things that made him a war hero on one hand, I guess, but literally gave him PTSD. And he's a broken man at this point. So, yeah, I think that's all everyone needs to know about the war itself. It's never really deliberately alluded to because it's just this idea that out of sight, out of mind, there's constantly, conflict going on that is deadly, that is really destroying lives. And people are trying to sort of compartmentalize and say that, well, that's happening over there.
Yeah, I liked that and sort of like how everything got underwater were never really alluded to. You're just sort of forced to guess. We assume it's climate change because that's right. where we're all headed. Yeah. But you don't really know what parts are okay, what parts aren't, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think one thing that's so great about Lisa's work is that she really does like sci-fi, and I think it gives her a freedom in some ways as a storyteller, but she really has something to say. So whether it be on climate change, whether it be on inequality, whether it is on conflicts happening around the world, that's all happening here. And I don't think it's a huge leap of imagination from our audience of this movie to believe in 20, 30, 40 years that would be the case.
Unfortunately, with sci-fi, sometimes there are no answers to the questions that you're like. For instance, at the end of this movie, your character is sort of like in this indefinite sort of like hovering in memory and aging. And there's part of me that's like, how does it work? Like, does he have does someone pour food in his mouth every day? Do you know what I mean? Who's someone flipping him over? But you don't know the answer to that necessarily.
I love that you asked all those questions because it probably took us about 2 or 3 days where people were like, well, what about poop in the water? Like, well, hang on, what happens when, and Lisa's got all these answers for it. But I think let's just imagine that somehow it's sanitary, it's safe, people can stay alive and live in this semi-comatose state where they're in their heads reliving parts of their life. I think it's some way sad, but also understandable that for many people, this life is just too much to bear. Or maybe they have terminal disease and they don't want to live their remaining years, just in pain. They want to live their, for whatever reason. I think it's understandable that people might want to do that. And at the same time, the movie is a cautionary tale. But let's just assume there's IVs, there's somehow food, people can stay alive. Yeah.
There's a pill that does it all for you and it's all fine.
Something like that. Wrinkly skin just goes away. Somehow everything's fine,
When the waters began to rise and war broke out, nostalgia became a way of life. There wasn't a lot to look forward to. So people began looking back. Nothing is more addictive than the past.
No, put me back. I understand.